(1973) Ford Maverick. The luxury you've always felt you had to give it up in a compact car. That is an exact quote from a brochure issued by Ford Motor Company to advertise its new Falcon replacement, the Maverick. Because it's the 1970s, and in the particular year 1973, America endured the worst oil embargo in history, which prompted more changes to regulations than you could think about all the ways to expand your mind and bring on the psychedelics, bro. Yeah, I'll take your word for it, man. Oh, millennials, you truly don't understand how better off you have it in today's world of gender fluid leaks and crossover obsessions and first world problems that so many social justice warriors find solitude in. It seems that, though, despite all the regulations made on the cars in the 1970s, a lot of people's most favorite cars came from that time period, like the Ford Mustang, Dodge Charger and Challenger, and Chevrolet Camaros. But in the seas of American muscle that swarmed the heartland of America not long ago, came an unbranded range animal, or Maverick, with more quality control and reliability than a similarly aged Yugo. Anyways, this is a 1973 Ford Maverick, and if you want to call this car a resto mod, well, have at it, kiddo. If there are any younger viewers that have no clue what a Ford Maverick is, well, if Ford was to have a modern day equivalent to this car, it would basically be a Ford BRZ, even though the BRZ is definitely a Subaru. History time! The Ford Maverick is a compact car sold by Ford from 1970 to 1979 as a replacement to the Ford Falcon, which competed against the Chevy Vega, Dodge Dart, Volkswagen Beetle, and the imports from Honda, Datsun, and Toyota. Originally marketed as a two-door sedan at a starting price of $1,995, the Maverick was designed to be inexpensive to manufacture and maintain, and it worked. Well, at the time at least, with nearly 500,000 Mavericks sold in the first year in 1970. Apparently the Maverick sold very well in South America too, with 2-door, 4-door, or station wagon variants being sold and produced there as well. The chances of seeing one of these Mavericks out in the wild, though, are pretty rare, despite there being millions of these cars on the road just a few decades prior. If you do happen to see one of these in the wild, though, and one that's running at that, then congratulations, you found an American unicorn. Oh, sorry, not an American unicorn. But here's this one, a 1973 Ford Maverick, which does run and does drive and is mostly period correct. Just don't tell anybody in that numbers matching only crowd about this car, because they'll give you a honey-do list of all the things that aren't period correct about this car while they fap to Barrett Jackson's auto auctions. So this particular car has undergone many changes from what it originally was sold as, and all of these changes were made possible by the owner of this 1973 Maverick, a good friend of mine and fellow gearhead, Kevin. So thank you, Kevin, for creating and restoring this American brainchild of period political correctness, and for taking time out of your day to allow me to video and review this beautiful machine. And now it's time for modifications! This 1973 Ford Maverick originally came with the 200 cubic inch straight six engine with a 3-speed manual transmission, which, in its day, made a whopping 120 horsepower. But the straight six is long gone now, and in its place is a rebuilt Ford 302 cubic inch V8 making around 200-ish horsepower. Points ignition was removed and replaced by a Protronic style system, and the cylinder heads were rebuilt as well. It has a pressure fan instead of a clutch fan because cooling issues and clearance. And it has competition rocker arms, which takes away that tapping noise that older V8s usually make. It has Ford Ranger wheels with Mastercraft trailer tires because that's all younger Kevin could afford at the time when he was building this car. All of the bodywork, interior and exterior, was done by Kevin and his dad, and the paint was redone in its original grabber orange configuration. At the time this car was being filmed, Kevin stated that he wasn't even sure if the car ran, much less idle if it did, because it had been sitting for a while after he'd brought it home running hot from caffeine and octane. He was able to get it started though, and was able to drive it home to his humble abode. This is one of those project cars that will possibly be an ongoing project down down the road because, let's face it, when is a project car truly done anyways? Not sure what Kevin's plans are with this car anyways, aside from keeping it alive and running, but I foresee many great ideas coming to fruition with this machine. 1973 Ford Maverick, the official car for diamond girls that drift away to Crocodile Rock on the midnight train to Georgia with Benny and the Jets. Yes, the 1970s where disco music was king and Bob Dylan was knocking on heaven's door with the Dancing Queen and My Sharona. That was a terrible way to explain that, but anyways. 1973 Ford Maverick. Imagine Anarchy in the UK, Inner City Blues, Bohemian Rhapsody, Seasons in the Sun, and Maggie May, all existing in the same generation as this car. It's a car for a good time, a family affair, with hot stuff and superstition in a heart of glass, killing me softly on the stairway to heaven to the bridge over troubled water where Le Freak and My Sweet Lord play that funky music, bringing joy to the world. The boys are back in town and Papa was a Rolling Stone, so go your own way to the YMCA and indulge in a lust for life, because that's the way I like it when you light up my life when there ain't no sunshine living for the city. Maverick, you're so vain, they say, so let's stay together while the best of my love suffers from night fever being alone again, because it's too late to lean on me even if you are the sunshine in my life. I mean, that's what a fool believes, right? Tonight's the night, and I can't get enough of your love, babe, because you're the one that I want, staying alive when I feel love, and darling, love will keep us together even if I got to give it up, because I will survive and I'll be there, pulling up in this 1973 Grabber Orange Ford Maverick as we ended up in Texas, dear. If you're lucky enough to own this dime piece of American exceptionalism, please take care of this machine, because they offer more insight to the American dream than any subreddit does on the miles and miles of information on the World Wide Web. Ford doesn't make small, compact, rear-wheel drive anythings anymore, and we probably won't ever see cars like this made ever again in the heartland of America, so if you see this unbranded range animal, or Maverick, out in the wild, just take a moment to appreciate the owners that keep these beasts alive and running, because they possess a history lesson so long, well, it all couldn't make it into this review. So maybe some other time, Ford Maverick, will this car shine on in the sanctuary of J and be a testament to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. America! The end. If Ford was to make this today, what do you think this would be? The Focus? Well, actually, no, because they don't make a two-door Focus. Is it idling?
Yeah. Show is kind of working.
It's quiet, aside from the pipes, but it's quiet under here. Tapping, yeah. Oh wow.